That's kind of a tough question, I think, because when you talk about in the area 5 years from now, you'd have to, I think you'd have to look at who's still coaching, you know, and you're going to have to look at the program that's available, and then the way the leagues are changing every year, that could have an effect upon the quality and what you're doing and everything else. I mean, there's a lot of different parts of that particular question that would be hard to judge 5 years down the road, and especially with the with the economy the way it is right now, that could affect some things too.
The pay to play is significant to kids.
I was just going to say, I was going to ask. Let's start there. Has everyone feel like that? Has that impacted your program? Have you seen a difference? Has it been up or down? Has it been the same?
With kids of poverty, this free and reduced lunch supersedes, and so I don't know that we've ever lost a kid because they didn't have the money to play, because there's scaffolding built in there.
I think and I agree, we haven't lost tons of kids.
Right.
I think we've lost a fringe kid or two because for me, we love numbers. Football's all about numbers, and you want 11 defensive tackles if you can get them, because quite honestly, you can practice better with 11 defensive tackles than you can with 3, right? And only one of them's going to play, or 2 at a time, but that's what we want. And so football's about numbers. And so I thought the pay-to-play has probably reduced that just a little bit, because some kid will make an excuse now where, I don't want to play. And maybe it is a monetary thing. I know for us, if you have 3 kids in your family, it's $225, or three kids that play one sport, or 3 sports in a season. The cap is $225. It's not a lot of money, but right now it is for families. You know, it's a. But again, that's probably a place to start. I haven't seen a real negative impact with that yet. And we haven't seen anything with the new things that are coming down the pike. We won't know for a while how that's going to affect football 5 years from now. The middle school situations. That's just an unknown right now. I don't perceive that being a good thing down the road if we don't try to fix the problem, but hard to say now.
Student mobility is a big thing too, like Sherry Pife's article about open enrolling to severance, or the title was opting out or opt out. Kids today, their parents are so allowing their children to be so mobile. It can be that, Coach Roggy had a falling out with a kid and the kid will leave, or Coach Fulton will have a falling out with a kid, and the parents are deciding that we're the dumbest guy in the history of the earth. And so in 5 years, to answer Bobby's question, we're fighting that now, and that's state law, obviously. It's not a District 6 thing. I mean, Johnstown Milliken struggles, I'm sure, at times with stuff like that. The article that Sherry wrote was right on the money. She talked about how Fort Collins and the Thompson District have lost, I thought, significant percentages by comparison to Greeley. I was really shocked at that number. So there's a lot of issues, and there's so many obstacles to being successful. There are so many things that can go wrong. The pressure on kids today with drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. Oh, my God. I mean, the kids are going home to that, where mom and dad are allowing it. I mean, and we all love our role as coaches, but on top of that, it is parenting, it's counseling, it's a brother sometimes, an older brother, if you will, and we're all good with that. But there's so many obstacles to becoming successful on the football field alone. There's so many obstacles. So
there's so much for kids to do, and there's so much to take away.
And some of it's so bad.
My old philosophy was, if I could keep a kid through his freshman year, he'd last all through his senior year. Well, that's out the window. In the last 5 years, that's disappeared, because I've got good football players that play as freshmen. They may not come out as sophomores. I may see them as juniors, maybe not till they're seniors yet. So the whole thing, and when you look at what they're going through, it has to do with some of the things that Jeff already said. There's something else in their life. They've got some other issues, or they'd rather sit at home, or they'd rather hang out with their buddies. I mean, there's a lot of things out there for kids to do that we didn't used to have to deal with before, and if that becomes a priority, no matter how much we talk to them and try to help them, it doesn't. Most of the time, we lose it.
It's hard to be a football player.
It's tough.
It's hard.
We all have those kids that are intrinsically motivated. Each guy could name 2 or 3 maybe guys on their team that you don't have to. They're motivated. They're there. They're ready to play football. But we spend a lot of time in that extrinsic motivation where we're buying T-shirts, putting stuff on the weight room board, we're dangling that carrot, right? We're trying to get somebody hooked so they'll have a good experience in football. Well, that's a big part of what we do, a big part. We just don't have as many of those self-motivated kids anymore.
Well,
I'm not saying they're lesser athletes. They're just not as...
There's a lot of relational things that have to happen for kids to stay out for football. mean, there is. I mean, you have to work at establishing rapport with your kids and know how to motivate, because, you know, you guys know, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to ways to motivate kids, and sometimes if they're not motivated, they'll just quit. So you have to kind of work at that end. The old leadership axiom, you know, before you ask anybody to do something, you got to show them you care. Well, that's really true of football coaching. You got to show your kids that you care for them, and you know, and then you can ask them. Most of these guys that have kids, I know, that would run through a brick wall for them without even asking why. And you know, it's because that they've spent time with them and showed them that they cared, and that they've spent the time with the relationships, because that's a big part of any business or any kind of endeavor. Is if you have people working for you, you got to care for them. And so, to me, that's a big thing. And so, in terms of the numbers of kids out for football, I think a lot of it has to deal with the time element involved with football. You know, for us, and I know for these guys, it's a lot of time commitment. It just is. If you have a job that you have to go to after practice, that's a lot. And then, you know, there's just a lot going on that when I was growing up wasn't the case.
We've had to make adjustments, you know. I got kids that come to me and say, Coach, I got a part-time job.
Yeah.
I got to be at work. And I'm like, you know what? You come to me 15 minutes before you're ready to need to go. You give me 5 laps and you're out of here. Get going. I mean, in the old days, we wouldn't have done that. I mean, that would have been it. You're not leaving until I tell you you can get out of here. But now, no, not now. We've got to be be very flexible with what we do sometimes. If that kid is, you know, and every kid's worth working with. So you got to.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, and I said just the other night at our fall sports night, and I say it every year. I say, you know, hopefully we play more than 10 games this year. That's what every coach is working for. But to be honest with you, I want to tell you that I'm having difficulty and have had some difficulty getting some of you and your families through a 10-game season. You know, we have some kids about a third of the way through have got a wedding to go to, or I've got, and to miss games. And, you know, it was an unheard of thing to miss a game for anything. Yeah. And so I publicly make that statement now. I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to address it. In other words, don't plan your family vacation about Game 7. You know, and it's not everyone, but I mean, I have had it in the 5 years I've been here, and it's come up, and it's wow. You have to step back and go, what? You're going to miss the game, and so it is. We're getting stretched a lot of different ways, and it's interesting.
That's way interesting.
It's interesting.